everyone, it's Holly Marie King, and we are back with the Emblem Knights Rough Draft. We are rounding down to the very end. I'm so excited that we're almost done with this. It's been so long since I started this book. I'm hoping it takes me less time to read through more books, but then that requires me to write more books, so the pressure is on, really. Anyway, yeah, we're at the Emblem Knights chapter 32 on the rough draft version. I don't know how to speak anymore. It's so hard. But yeah, so I don't think I have anything else. I thought I had something else I want to share, but I guess not. Anyway, so we're going to just jump in, shall we? Chapter 32, time to win. Oh, that's what else I was going to say. Oh, you know what? Because of this, you can't see the top of it? Oh, no. Okay. Sorry, I'm learning things. I made the thing bigger, but so it's easier to see when I'm reading it. Let's bring this down. There. I don't know why that's up. Blah! Okay, cool. That didn't mess it up. All right. I'm going to start over. Hi, everyone. It's Holly Marie King. And we are back with the Emblem Knights Rough Draft. We're on chapter 32. I think we only have like a couple more chapters left. So I'm extremely excited to get this done. We're going to be done. And then we're going to join... Then we're going to do something that I'm not very proud of. Writing that I'm not very proud of. But it's writing. It's back when I was in high school. It's stuff I did. Oh my gosh. I just had a brainstorm. I should do my very first story first. I was thinking I was going to do that one first. But my very first story I wrote in like 6th grade. 6th grade? Yes. And it's about Digimon. It's my Digimon fan. I wrote a fanfic when I was in 6th grade. I gotta find it though. Do I have it written down somewhere? I don't know. I'm getting distracted. I'm sorry. Anyway, I changed the font so that it's bigger and you can see it easier. So I'm hoping the blurriness of the text gets a little better. So, anyway. Chapter 32. Time to win. Hey, where is she? Roy demanded, flaring. That's what I would like to know, Alex growled, grabbing the front of Roy's shirt. Where were you when she was being taken? Electricity and fire pulsed into the other, creating a moment of high energy. Stop, both of you. Fighting won't do you any good, Maddie said irritably. Murphy had started to cry. Fine. Alex gritted his teeth and released his lifelong friend. What should we do then? Why would he take her? Because her powers are something quite remarkable, Jack said as he approached the small group with his men not far behind. A tired horse trailed behind them. Alex looked at the poor creature with regret. What type of powers could she possibly have? Maddie asked, quieting her child. You never saw her in battle before, John asked. She hasn't fought much, Daisuke said. But to survive such an attack from the senior advisor is enough to pique his interest. I think it's P-I-Q-U-E for pique. I think. Am I wrong? I don't know. Maybe. Why are we just standing around? Shouldn't we be doing something? Alex demanded. He didn't care what they thought her powers were. He didn't care how interested he was in her powers. All he wanted was her safe and by his side. Well, aren't you a little slow on that, Alex? Look, this is a very delicate situation. The senior advisor doesn't just let up on people who have survived his first attempt on their life. Ray approached them with all traces of his problems gone. He was now the leader he had been a year ago. Welcome back, my friend, Jack said to Ray. He turned to the small children and women around them. All women and children are ordered to go back to the caravan and should stay there until this war is over. What? Maddie stood with her little baby on her back. Yeah, you're going to do a lot with that baby, girl. We don't want anyone else involved in this. Please, Maddie. If we were to fail, who would be able to stay behind and train more? Besides, Murphy needs his mother. Ray said, sympathetically. That is not how it's sympathetically. Maddie looked down, defeated. She couldn't leave even an unwanted child without regretting it. Besides, he brought her joy, even if he had features of his father in his face. Well, I'm not going, Joey shouted. Of course not. You're with me, John spoke up before anyone else did. I wouldn't leave you behind even if I wanted to. But this is absurd. How are we supposed to save a girl and protect a little boy at the same time? Roger protested. You don't know what this boy is capable of, Daisuke said proudly. Can we just go? Roy said impatiently. Ray walked over to his twin and punched him in the face. What was that for? Roy shouted, putting his hand on his bleeding nose. That's for being an idiot, Ray said to his brother with a scowl on his face. Get your act together. It's about time you all realize that this no longer has anything to do with Murphy, Alex said as all the men in his group looked at him. Y'all need to get your heads out of the clouds, Joey said in agreement. Daisuke, you saved millions in our town without question. There's millions in your town? That's a small town. And now you hesitate? Why is that? Because now you believe there's no point if they're just going to die anyway? John, you have made so many herbs you don't have room in your storehouse. Just grieve and move on. Roy, you are a distant, crazy young man who only shows interest in your skill. Just because life is short doesn't mean a girl wants to be forced into a relationship. Wow, Joey, you're really digging deep. Alex, you know that you were afraid to get close to Yuri because you thought she would die before there was a chance to be with her for the rest of your lives. Just cherish the time you have now. And Ray, you are a leader. Just because you want to prove it wasn't your leadership skills that got Murphy killed doesn't give you the right to go into La La Land. Wow, Joey, it's just laying down the punches. Joey watched each man hang his head. Listen, Murphy didn't give up his life so Yuri could die a senseless death. She too carried the burden of it on her shoulders and seeked help from her fellow teammates, but they all just dismissed her as though she were a problem. And if any of you were paying attention, Yuri attempted to die the last attack from the senior advisor. Thankfully, Alex was there to save her, but if we keep going on like this, of course our men are going to die. mean. Wow. Joey's unpacking a lot of shit there. Joey's right, Ray said, patting the boy's shoulder. It's time we pull together as men and fight again as the team we were. He looked down at Joey. Will you be a part of our group of 6? 6? Joey looked up at Ray, confused. You didn't know? He smiled at all of his men's faces. Yuri is a part of our group as well. So, how are we going to save this young lady? Daisuke asked. We are going to make an offer so irresistible that he can't resist on taking it. Ray exchanged looks with Jack. Jack nodded. But first, we must send the women and children on their way. Michelle sighed. All right, then we shall leave you men to your work. She quickly gathered her sister and the young girl had accompanied her. And the young girl that had accompanied, there's the word. I was like, oh, I'm missing a word. Let's go, children. The men watched them leave and soon realized that Roger wanted to go with them. Man up, weakling. You can't go back to your family with cowardice. At least I hope not, Ray said. He and Jack turned from the group to discuss their next move as the rest of the men prepared themselves. They're going to offer me to them, aren't they? Joey asked John. Sorry, buddy, but it appears to be the only way, John said, patting the boy's shoulder. Don't worry, though. We'll get you out of there before it's too late. I don't care as long as we save my sister, Joey told him. Alex sat down on the ground, obviously frustrated. No one dared approach him. He then felt a strange tingle in his body. It was faint, but the strangest thing he had ever experienced. You won't be able to win this, senior advisor, Yuri shrieked, pulling at her shackles. She sat up against a brick wall, her hands in the air. She hated being a victim, but there was no way she was going to let him get to her. The senior advisor chuckled. I already have. They think you're dead already. You couldn't possibly know that, Yuri spat. You're right, but at least I get the boy. The senior advisor rubbed his hands together hungrily. For there, on his magical little circle, was her little brother approaching the front door. No! Yuri struggled against the shackles, pulling herself until her arms felt like they were going to break. No! She whispered, hanging her head. Her blood trailed down her arms from the shackles, cutting into them. She couldn't free herself. Not yet, anyway. I'll be right back for the reunion. The senior advisor left the room in high spirits. Yuri lifted her head as the door closed. She pulled her arms again by sitting forward. She pulled until the chains pulled themselves out of the wall. It was painful, but it got her off the wall. She rubbed her wrists as she took the bloody chains off of her. The damage was minimal, and she would live. Chapter 33, Trick or Treat. So, that is nothing like how the final draft goes. Like, the ending is so much better. Oh my god, I'm so excited to read the ending for you guys so you can see it. Because it's, like, like 20 times better, I would say. It's a huge difference. It's like night and day. I'm going to be all excited and hyped up about this and read it and be like, oh, that's not as good as I remember it being because, you know, I'm biased. But that's why I do the rough draft and the final draft, so you can see, oh, hey, there was actually a lot of work put into this, even though the final draft is not that great. I know, I'm not the best writer in the world. I apologize, but I love doing it. Someday, I might be good. Someday, I might be great. Who knows? I hope so, anyway. But yeah, anyway, so that's enough time for this. That's it for chapter 32. I believe we have 2 chapters left from what I remember. It's either 2 or 1. I think it's like chapter 33 and then it's the epilogue. But yeah, so unlike Not a Dream, this is a 1-book series because, yeah, I only wrote 1 book for this series because I didn't really have anything else that inspired me for it, so I didn't write more. So once this is over, we're done with the finals and rough drafts. Ooh. We're so behind in the final drafts, though. It's not even funny. So it's going to be a while before we finish Emblem Knights, the final draft. But can you believe it? There's only like 2 more chapters left. Oh my god. I'm so excited. I'm excited for more stuff to come. Anyway, yeah, no, that sounds weird. I'm going to end this here before I say more weird stuff. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you know someone who would be interested in this type of content, please share it. If, for whatever reason, you want more of this content, every Monday I try to upload a book of mine that I have written myself, only me. I'm also offering to read for an advertisement purposes for people's books. I will read a chapter of their choosing from their book on my channel, and that way they get advertisement. I will post their links, like in this one where I'll post a link below where you can buy my book. We'll do a chapter, we'll get people watching, and then they'll be like, oh, this book actually sounds interesting. You know? Okay. If you know, you know. Anyway, I'm leaving before I do any more silly things. Yeah, hopefully. I will see you guys next time. Bye.